There's been no talk of a sequel to the superhero adventure Hancock for a long time. Now there's an update from lead actor Will Smith. He spoke about Hancock 2 in a Twitch stream by Canadian streamer XQC. And he also let slip a few words about I Am Legend 2. But first, let's talk about Hancock. Will Smith appeared in this somewhat unusual superhero film as a burnt-out protagonist who tries to maintain law and order in an unconventional way. Since its release in 2008, there have been recurring considerations for a sequel. And at the time, Hancock director Pete Berg said that it was all just a matter of timing, as everyone involved had their own projects. Will Smith has finally given us an update and talks about a, quote, really cool Hancock 2 idea. And he also seems to have already found an ideal actress. Smith revealed that Zendaya is to be won over for a role in the sequel. The Dune actress will thus be approached to see whether she would be available for Hancock 2. Will Smith also opened up about I Am Legend 2. He and Creed star Michael B. Jordan recently sat down for a week to discuss the sequel and the characters. So, the movie is therefore still in development. However, with both productions, fans will surely have to remain patient until the sequels are released in theaters. We're going back to Middle-earth. After the finale of the second season of The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power aired last October, fans are eagerly awaiting what's to come. And now there's finally news. Season 3 has been officially confirmed, and according to The Hollywood Reporter, filming is set to begin this spring. The story will be set several years after the events of the second season. Sauron is now in the process of forging the One Ring to gain a decisive advantage in the war against the elves. The so-called War of the Elves took place in the Second Age and marks the first major confrontation between Sauron and the elves, long before the War of the Last Alliance, known from the prologue of The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring. Fans can therefore look forward to some epic battles. Some well-known names have been confirmed to direct the third season. Charlotte Brandstorm has already been nominated for an International Emmy Award for her work on the series, and she'll once again be directing several episodes. Sanaa Hamri, who also worked as a director in the second season, will be back as well. New to the directing crew is Steven Schwartz, known for his work on series such as The Boys and The Walking Dead. The first season of The Rings of Power remains Prime Video's biggest TV premiere to date and achieved record viewer numbers. The second season was also a huge success and became the streaming service's most watched follow-up season. According to Amazon, 170 million viewers worldwide watched the series. For a long time, the future of the Pirates of the Caribbean series seemed extremely uncertain. Can we expect a reboot, a spin-off, or a genuine sequel? And above all, will Johnny Depp be a part of Pirates of the Caribbean 6? Now the website The Diz Insider, which specializes in Disney topics, has some exciting news. According to its source, the company has already started production, even at one of its sound stages in Hollywood. The insider has also heard that Johnny Depp is indeed involved. However, the Diz Insider emphasizes that they have not yet been able to find a second source for this information. So the report should definitely be taken with a grain of salt for now. Now, last year, information was already circulating that producer Jerry Bruckheimer was working on several script versions, one of which explicitly included the return of Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. Bruckheimer has already stressed several times that he would like to have Depp back on board, and until recently, he had been very negative regarding a possible return. In addition to Depp, we could also end up seeing another veteran of the series. Orlando Bloom has already shown interest in a comeback. It's still not known whether Pirates of the Caribbean 6 will be a soft reboot or a traditional sequel. Information on the director, the release date, or the rest of the cast is likewise still lacking. There's some good news for all Street Fighter fans. Legendary Entertainment has found a new director for its upcoming live-action film adaptation of the fighting game. As the trade magazine Deadline reports, Kitao Sakurai will be directing the film. He's known for Bad Trip and his work on The Eric Andre Show, for example. He takes over from Talk to Me directors Danny and Michael Philippou, who had joined the project in April 2023. However, they're no longer involved. The film adaptation is based on the Capcom video game series of the same name, which was first published in 1987. The series had sold over 55 million copies worldwide and is one of the most iconic franchises in video game history. The focus is on intense one-on-one battles in a global tournament organized by M. Bison, the leader of the criminal organization Shadaloo. Specific details of the movie's plot are still unknown. This is not the first time that Street Fighter is being adapted for the big screen. Back in 1994, Universal Pictures released a film adaptation starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie Minogue. but it never left a lasting impression. In 2009, it was even listed by Time magazine as one of the worst video game adaptations of all time. Now it'll be interesting to see whether the new adaptation can convince audiences more. Street Fighter will be released in movie theaters on March 20th, 2026. That was quicker than expected. Although Christopher Nolan's epic The Odyssey won't be released in cinemas until next year, the first image of actor Matt Damon has already been published. Damon can be seen in a striking suit of armor, and in keeping with this, Universal Pictures announced that he will be playing the lead role of Odysseus. The Odyssey is one of the oldest literary works in the world and tells the story of the adventures of the Greek hero Odysseus on his dangerous journey home after the Trojan War. Among other things, he encounters a cyclops, seductive sirens, and a six-headed sea monster. Universal Pictures describes the project as a mythical action epic. As with every Nolan film, we can expect a great cast in The Odyssey. Spider-Man star Tom Holland, his girlfriend Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, the Punisher actor Jon Bernthal, and Lupita Nyong'o, to name but a few. The blockbuster will be released on July 17th, 2026, and we can hardly wait. Another Dungeons & Dragons project is on the way. After the financially rather moderately successful film from 2023, Netflix is now devoting its attention to a series adaptation of the popular pen and paper game. Behind the series is Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy. 2023 was a good year for many Dungeons & Dragons fans. Despite its financial failure, the movie is still very popular with fans. The cast, including Hollywood star Chris Pine, Fast and Furious actress Michelle Rodriguez, and Bridgerton actor Reggie Jean Page, was also impressive. Fans are still hoping for a sequel, but this isn't necessarily becoming any more realistic as time goes on. However, as the trade magazine Deadline reports, a series adaptation from Netflix is now in the pipeline. This time, it's a live-action series called The Forgotten Realms. And for die-hard Dungeons & Dragons fans, this title already gives a first indication of the plot, as it's a popular setting of the game. Sean Levy will be involved in the series adaptation as a producer. With Stranger Things, he's already been able to make a hit series as a director and producer. So Levy remains a busy man. He's soon to direct a standalone Star Wars film, possibly with Ryan Gosling in the leading role. Newcomer Drew Crivello, however, has the main creative responsibility as the showrunner of The Forgotten Realms. Crivello is the creator of the Apple series We Crashed with Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway. Nothing is yet known about the cast of the series. Due to the early development phase of the project, it's currently not possible to predict when we can expect the release of The Forgotten Realms. But we will, of course, keep you up to date. The production of the Harry Potter series is making even greater progress. Many rumors revolve around the new cast. According to insider Daniel Rickman, Warner has finally found the three actors for Harry, Ron, and Hermione. As was the case with the movies for the big screen, they're said to be newcomers. So far, no names have been mentioned, nor have there been any images of the new actors. However, these should not be long in coming. The situation is clearer when it comes to another important role, Professor Albus Dumbledore. He could soon be played by none other than John Lithgow. According to sources at Deadline, the six-time Emmy winner is in final talks with HBO. The broadcaster itself did not want to comment directly on the reports. In an official statement, HBO merely said, "We appreciate that such a high-profile series will draw a lot of rumor and speculation. As we make our way through pre-production, we'll only confirm details as we finalize deals." Dumbledore, the wise and powerful principal of Hogwarts and leader of the Order of the Phoenix, was played by the late actors Richard Harris and Michael Gambon in the previous film adaptations. In the Fantastic Beasts movies, Jude Law played a younger version of the character. Now John Lithgow could follow in the footsteps of these great actors. Originally, Bridge of Spies actor Mark Rylance was being considered for the role, but it seems they have now decided against it. Lithgow has already excelled in numerous film and series productions, including The Crown, The Old Man, and his award-winning role as the Trinity Killer in Dexter. Most recently, he was seen in Edward Berger's Conclave. Rumors about the casting of other key roles has been circulating for months. For example, Papa Asiedu as Severus Snape, Brett Goldstein as Hagrid, and even Oscar winner Cillian Murphy as Lord Voldemort have been the subject of discussion. According to Daniel Rickman, however, Murphy is to take on a different role, namely that of Professor Quirinus Quirrell. But it looks like the time of speculation should soon come to an end. we can't wait to show you the final cast, especially pictures of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. The popular trading card game Magic the Gathering is to be made into a movie, and not only a movie or a series are being planned, but also an entire movie and series universe. This news was announced by Hasbro and Legendary, who want to work together on the fantasy project. Magic the Gathering is one of the biggest trading card games in the world, be it in a private setting or at tournaments and world championships. Magic has been hugely popular for a long time, and since its first release in 1993, the play world has been steadily growing. Hasbro and Legendary have announced that everything will kick off with a movie. It'll then be followed by a series and further content. Legendary is therefore adopting a similar approach as they did with their adaptation of the Dune universe. This started in 2021 with Denis Villeneuve's first movie, which was followed by Part 2 and a series on HBO. Moreover, the studio states that they want to appeal to both longtime fans and new viewers with their multimedia universe. However, no further details about the project are known at the moment. And Legendary is not the only studio working on a Magic project. Netflix has been working on an animated series set in the world of the trading card game for a while now. As The Hollywood Reporter points out, the Russo brothers, known for their numerous MCU films, were originally set to be responsible for the series. However, creative differences behind the scenes are believed to have stood in the way, and since then, Terry Matalas has now been appointed as showrunner. He previously took on this function for Star Trek Picard and the series adaptation 12 Monkeys. The Magic the Gathering universe is therefore expanding further. Only time will tell whether it makes sense to realize so many projects at once. Some time is likely to pass before we can see any initial results. New images from Avatar 3: Fire and Ash. When you think of Pandora, you probably think of a bright blue sky, a dense tropical jungle, and crystal clear water. But not all regions of the science fiction world created by James Cameron are as beautiful. The industry magazine Empire is now giving us another look at the new elements. In Avatar 3, the audience will get to know the so-called Ash Village, home of Mangkwang clan, also known as the Ash People. It lies in a bleak, ash-covered landscape marked by the aftermath of a major natural disaster. According to production designer Dylan Cole, the village represents a powerful contrast to the familiar parts of Pandora, but remains true to the main theme of Avatar, the deep symbiosis between the Na'vi and their environment. Besides the Ash People, we'll also get to see the new Wind Traders. This group of Na'vi crosses Pandora on gigantic, jellyfish-like flying creatures. A visual and cultural sensation. The clan is led by Pelak, played by David Thewlis. And contrary to many rumors, he's not an antagonist, but rather embodies a colorful and charismatic character with a remarkable fashion sense. According to costume designer Deborah L. Scott, Pelak's people are upbeat, fun-loving, and bring a unique dynamic to the movie. His eye-catching attire, especially his sunset-colored cape, was reworked several times by James Cameron to look even more magnificent. The plot of Avatar 3 picks up shortly after the events of Avatar 2: The Way of Water and follows Jake and Neytiri as they meet the Ash People. The movie will be released in theaters on December 19th, 2025.